Well, now, I want to talk to my #1 fan again. Actually, the only fan. Come on, Danny. Come and collect your CD. It's right here for you. Come on, Danny Chuck. From my #1 fan. Have a sit down there next to this is it. This is the CD that you're going to play all the records on, all right?
Lord, they've shrunk, haven't they?
They have shrunk, yes. That's age for you, Danny. That's age for you, Danny.
Yeah, like me.
Now, no, not like you at all. Well, it was your dear wife, Jean, who wrote and told me about you being my fan. Yes. And she also told me about more than one or two things about you as well. She told me that way back in 1951, your first marriage broke up and you did have 3 sons.
That's right.
Danny Jr., Robert and David.
That's right, yeah.
And they went to live with their mum, didn't they? And you'd visit them all the time, but there was one particular day that must stick out in your memory. You turned up to visit the boys.
Yeah, and there was nobody there.
There was nobody there? Well,
gone.
Where'd they gone?
I haven't a clue. Well, I didn't know for about, it's 7 or 8 years, something like that, before I found out though.
And where did they? Where had they been taken to?
Australia.
With your ex-wife?
Yeah.
And she hadn't told you anything?
Nobody told me, no.
And you had no idea where they were?
I hadn't a clue.
Well, you did meet and marry your dear wife, Jean, and you told her that you can't relax. You can't relax until you found your sons again.
That's true, yeah.
And you and your wife spent 30 years...
Nearly 35 years.
...to try and make contact with your sons. And you wrote to everybody in Australia. You wrote to the Lord Mayors, you wrote to all the police stations. And I do believe, Jean tells me this, as a last resort, you wrote to the ABC. Now, that's the equivalent of our BBC television over here. That was a last resort.
Last hope.
Now, there was an amazing coincidence because the head of the organisation, Mr. David Hill, saw your letter and he said, my goodness me, Danny and Robert, I went to school with them.
That's right.
It was amazing. Well, he got in touch with Danny and Robert and actually gave them your phone number.
Yeah, that was...
And they phoned you up.
4 years ago or something.
My
something
goodness
like that,
me. Well, what was that first phone call like?
I couldn't describe it. I really couldn't, you know.
Well, there's a lot of happy news there, but then you got some tragic news, didn't you?
Yeah,
what did they tell you?
David was dead, the youngest one. He was
How
killed
did he
in
die?
a car crash about a week or something before his 21st birthday, and that was...
Oh, dear.
I saw him when he was a tiny wee baby that size.
Yes.
Never saw him again.
But you've got 2 sons still living in Australia. And Jean tells me that all you want to do now is to see them once again, just to give them a big hug.
Yeah, before I kick the bucket, I'm getting on, you know.
Well, you're not going to kick the bucket for a long time yet, Danny.
Just approaching middle age.
Yes, and you look well on it, too.
You think so? Thank you very much.
do. Danny, you haven't seen your sons for well over 50 years.
Yeah,
But surprise, surprise, you are going to see them now. We have flown them all the way over from Australia to see you. And here they are. Give them a big hug. It's Danny Jr. and your son, Robert. There they are. Look at that. Reaching out, holding hands, we live in memory as we smile through the years, the tears, the fears disappear. Life is full of surprises. It's surprising how dreams come true. week. And I'd like to say a very big thank you to everybody who's taken part on tonight's show, especially Jane Asher, the Bay City Rollers, Fern Britton, Ainsley Harriott, Sean Maguire and Darren Day. So until next week, it's Toronto.